Both outside experts and locals have been left asking the question, what exactly is it that lies beneath these waters?
I was sitting there in awe, just dumbstruck of what the heck am I looking at?
There's definitely something big down there.
In Alaska, there are over 3,000 rivers and 3 million lakes, most still unexplored. Local folklore tells of hidden channels linking the waterways and monstrous beasts lurking in the depths.
We're not dealing with a mirage, a deluded individual. We're not dealing with mistaken identities. We've got something that needs explaining.
The most terrifying creature of them all is said to live here, in Lake Iliamna. And now, multiple eyewitnesses have stepped forward to suggest that this monster is no mere legend. At 77 miles long and 25 miles wide, Iliamna is the biggest lake in Alaska. It's the second biggest freshwater lake in the whole of the United States. It's also one of the hardest places to get to in the whole of the U.S. It's hundreds of miles from the nearest main road. When viewed from the air, the lake's shaped like a giant fish. Could this be a clue to what lurks within? Cryptozoologist Cliff Barrickman, one of America's leading Bigfoot investigators, now has his sights fixed on finding the monster of the lake. His first stop is the lake's southern shore, close to the village of Kokkinok.
I'm Cliff Barrickman, and I am in Kokkinok, Alaska, on the shores of Lake Iliamna, Alaska's largest lake. In some places, this lake is over 1,000 feet deep. There's no telling what could be swimming around in the bottom of this lake.
Cliff is here to meet the latest eyewitness. It's none less than the borough manager, Nathan Hill. On this beach one afternoon in 2017, Nathan was one of a handful of people at this very spot who witnessed the monster out on the lake.
So Nathan, the reason I came up here is to investigate some of the stories about the creature that lives in the lake. What's your experience with the creature?
It was a calm day, and as I looked out and I saw something in the lake. And there was at least half a dozen people that had gathered around to see what was out there. And at that time, I had my cell phone out and I was recording in case something was to surface. Probably somewhere between 300 and 500 yards off the beach, there was something that made some pretty big wakes, and everybody there witnessed it, and I got it on a short video clip.
Nathan hasn't posted his video online. In fact, this is the first time he's agreed to show it to any outsider. At first, it doesn't look as if there's anything to see. But then, towards the top left of the frame, something strange appears.
No, look right there. Look at that, right there.
See it?
What is that?
Carrie? What is it?
It looks like a giant sea serpent with 3 humps breaking the surface. If Nathan's right about the distance, that would make just the visible part of this lake creature 40 to 50 feet long.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
The quality is poor, so we're going to send off the video for some expert analysis.
3 of them.
Shortly after this sighting, Nathan's friend Thaniel had a monster experience of his own. He's a fisherman and was out in his canoe when the creature surfaced just yards from him.
What did it look like?
Like a giant snake creature.
Uh-huh.
Wide as the canoe and 3 to 4 times longer than the canoe, and black, leathery looking kind of skin. It had like that arch where, it didn't just go like straight. It actually had like a little arch with it or something.
Like a jaw.
Like the snout came out.
An arched neck means this was no giant fish. And it didn't move like a fish either.
Where it has like the head, a hump, and a hump, it would do its, like it was like that. I was sitting there in awe, just dumbstruck of what the heck am I looking at?
Thaniel's description does seem to match the monster that Nathan caught on video. A giant serpent-like creature with humps. And from the safety of the shore, Thaniel took his own video. He managed to capture this glimpse of the creature just before it disappeared under the surface.
Yeah, what is that?
It's only in modern times that people around the lake have had phones and cameras, but stories of the creature go way back. The native people of the area have lived here for nearly 10,000 years. For them, the story of the lake monster is no fairy tale. It's part of their oral history. Raymond Wassily is a native elder.
I heard stories from all my elders before me of how they saw it, and stories are the ones that tell the truth for the nomadics, because they didn't know how to write it.
As a young man, Raymond himself had a close-up encounter with the monster when he was out on the lake with his family.
My dad was on the cabin looking at it. He said it's longer than the boat. And the boat was almost like 32-footer, end to end. It looked like it had a hump, and then I couldn't judge it, but it looked like it had 3 on the way back to it. Then it kind of sloped, and it had a tail. And the head looked like it could swallow you.
3 humps, just like in the video filmed by Nathan. Anthropologist Robin Levine is an expert on the native folklore. As an outsider, she was always skeptical about these stories of a lake monster. That is, until one July day back in 2008.
A colleague of mine and I were flying back into a fish camp where we'd been conducting research. And we were on our way down, flying over a bay. We were very close to landing. And I saw something in the shallows, something I hadn't seen before. At first I thought it were 2 seals twisting together. And then I realized, no, it was one creature.
Robin's first thought was a beluga whale. Belugas do swim in the waters of Alaska, and the size was about right. But belugas are almost white in color. The creature Robin saw was dark.
It was pebble-colored. It had a sinuous movement about it, but it was definitely not an eel. I could see pectoral fins. I could see tail fins. As soon as we landed and we were taxiing up to the shore, I asked the pilot, well, what was that we saw just in the bay as we were descending? And he got really excited. What did you see? What did you see? And I told him. And he said, congratulations, you've seen the Iliamna Lake Monster. I was really surprised, but it was at that time then that I recalled the stories I'd heard, the stories that I dismissed years earlier about something in the water.